What's up, everybody? It's Fierce French over here from PlayerEssence.com, and today we're going to be discussing if Iwata should be out as Nintendo's president and CEO. And I say no, Iwata should not be out as Nintendo's president and CEO, and I'll give you a couple of reasons why he shouldn't be. Back when Iwata inherited the company in 2002, the GameCube was not doing well, and after its first year of launch, there was many problems, IP problems, they didn't have enough Japanese support, they were really losing the battle in their own homeland against the PS2. But when Iwata came in, he did try to do his best to forge relationships with Capcom and other companies, getting Resident Evil 4 and PN03, games like that, Beautiful Joe on the GameCube. So he tried to do his best to get games on there exclusively, spending some of the money Nintendo did have. It didn't work out the best just because the PS2 had so much content on there, but that didn't deter him from actually going on and doing more. In 2004, when the DS was launched, a lot of people were doubting the system, especially against Sony's PSP. It was right in the momentum of the PS2, it was right in the thick of that, and people were just saying, you know what, there's no way. Iwata proved them wrong. The DS is the most successful console/portable ever. There's been no other system to sell more than it. So you have to give that credit to Iwata. And even to this day, the DS still puts up numbers. So for people writing that off and saying, oh, well, that's the past. No, it's not. Because the DS is still selling very well up until this point. Nintendo is still making money off of DS hardware and software. You go to any Walmart or most stores, there are still plenty of DS games and DSs for sale. So no, that is not in the past. So next you have to look onto the Wii. Once again, people were doubting Iwata and doubting Nintendo that they can make any headway against the PS3 and the Xbox 360. What does Iwata do? Brings out the Wii, brings out Wii Sports, one of the most successful console titles to launch with the system ever, if not the most successful outside of Mario Bros on the NES. Then he goes out and forges more relationships from Square Enix. He goes out and gets Dragon Quest, which has been a huge seller, Dragon Quest VII, the remake. Plus he goes out there to Capcom and he gets Monster Hunter, which has been also a huge success on the 3DS and on the Wii, and now on the Wii U with Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Plus you have Monster Hunter 4 coming out this summer in Japan. That's going to move millions of units. So Iwata came in and took over Japan. He has won back Japan from Sony's clutches and basically have kicked Sony out. I mean, Sony's doing okay here and there, but for the most part, it seems like they're more focused on the Western market now. Now the 3DS comes out. Rocky start at the beginning. Takes time to develop games. Gets Mario Kart 7 out. Gets those games out, and bam, they're right back in it. And now the 3DS is the fastest selling portable/console to 30 million units ever. The fastest selling. No other system has got there faster than the 3DS. For people to write off all of the work Iwata has done, and he continues to do, forging those relationships, just because of 4 months of the Wii U and it's not selling as well as Nintendo's original projections are, that's ridiculous. And I say it's not selling as well as Nintendo's original projections because if you compare the sales of the Xbox 360 and PS3 in their first 4 months and you compare those with the Wii U has actually sold more than them and it's right around the same. So basically people are just, I don't know, upset, or people are basically saying it's not selling just because there's supply and it's not selling more than it should be. I mean, that's what I think people are saying, because the sales are actually higher than the Xbox 360 and PS3, and the sales have actually went up each month since January. Especially here in America with the NPD, they went up, and I know in Europe they went up because of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. In Japan they've started to go up a little bit. So for people to come out here and basically doom up the Wii U and say that Iwata should be fired just because of what's happening with the Wii U and just because of cherry-picking quotes from what he said in the past is stupid, considering that he has, in the top 3, he has some of the most successful consoles ever sold with the DS and the Wii and the 3DS. So that's ridiculous. He's done far more good for Nintendo than he's done bad. He pulled them out of that GameCube age and put them into a new age with their portables. And I think the Wii U is also going to be very successful if you give them time. I think the Miiverse and other stuff that Iwata was a part of with getting on the system are going to really take off. Next, I want to talk about his partnerships that he's forged. A lot of people are not understanding the partnerships and how important they are. Being able to get Square Enix, being able to get Capcom, being able to get Platinum Games to make Bayonetta, an exclusive. the acquisition of Monolith Soft. So that's basically Squaresoft. For you guys that don't know, make sure to check out my video on the Xenoblade 2. That's basically the old Squaresoft members, you know, the guys who made the Xeno series. The fact that it was Iwata's decision to purchase those guys, and what do we get? We get the best rated JRPG of last generation, or current generation, mind you, with Xenoblade, and Xenoblade 2 looks amazing. So for Nintendo to go out and grab that development studio and forge these relationships and take back Japan, because that's what they need to focus on first, is getting back the core gamers in Japan, and then they can expand to America. Iwata did fail at getting EA on board, but that's because EA wanted Origin on the Wii U, and there's no way that Nintendo, Iwata, as a good CEO, would allow them to put Origin on the Wii U and have that as their main storefront. That would be third-party suicide. Now they're recovering from that because they were supposed to have more support from EA, but they're getting support from Ubisoft. They forged a good relationship with them, regardless of the whole Rayman Legends things. Wii U is still getting Assassin's Creed, it's still getting Watch Dogs, still getting Splinter Cell Blacklist, so that's really good. The fact that they forged relationships with Warner Bros., getting Batman Arkham City on the Wii U at launch, and of course getting Batman Arkham Origins on there, plus with the new 3DS game Blackgate coming out. So Nintendo's doing, they're trying as far as the third-party support, and that's the main thing where people are saying, you know, Iwata should be fired, is over that third-party support. But from my standpoint, I think that Iwata's doing a good job, and we'll continue to see more partnerships. I mean, you also look at what they've done with Atlus, being able to go out and get Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. You know, look at what they did with Sega, Namco Bandai, and Capcom getting Project X Zone. And then that's also Iwata's call to bring that over to America. I mean, and of course, Reggie here in America, but getting those three companies to work together to bring a really cool game. I mean, Iwata is hitting on all fronts. I think people are being quick to judge him, and they're cherry-picking quotes from his past. I mean, all CEOs have really lofty expectations. I'm not trying to come out here and be Nintendo defense force on Iwata, but what I'm trying to do is show you guys all of the positives that he's done and all the relationships that he's forged, and there's no guarantee that a new president is going to go in that same direction. I think a lot of people are calling for him, a lot of Americans are calling for him to be fired. I heard here on YouTube, if you guys know, there's a resident troll called Blackbond. He basically said, he made a video saying that Iwata should be let go, and he said Reggie should be let go. But that's false. He didn't give enough information to back that up, nor did he give Iwata any credit for what he's actually currently doing with forging relationships. Plus, there was an article from, I think her name is Emily Rogers. She wrote an article cherry-picking quotes from Iwata's past, and basically writing off his success, saying that he had about 3 years of success, which is absolutely false, especially since the DS came out in 2004, and still to this day, the DS is still selling software, still selling units. I mean, they're still making money off that, so that success continues from 2004 and up. She basically wrote off the success that we had, saying, oh, well, only had a few good years, and now it's, well, look, the Wii's still selling. No matter where, the Wii's still selling somewhere here and there. So I mean, they're still making money off of that. So you can't write off the success. He's doing very well, and I think Iwata's going to prove a lot of people at this year's E3 with more partnerships. Because remember, there's still more partnerships that you know, that they have to announce, and Nintendo's doing very good with indie developers. Very good with indie developers, so that's also a lot of success too. So for everything you're saying that he didn't do, so for games getting delayed and stuff like that, that's not more so Iwata's fault than Miyamoto and Aonuma and the guys who make these games. They need more time to make quality games, and Iwata, as a good CEO, is not going to go against Nintendo's traditions and say, oh yeah, don't delay or put the game out with bugs and release multiple patches like Bethesda does. You know, Nintendo isn't Bethesda. Nintendo isn't Western developers. They don't release their game with all sorts of bugs and glitches and stuff like that and then patch them over the next few weeks. I mean, they try to do the best they can. I mean, sometimes there's still mistakes. I know like Legend of Zelda and Metroid Other M had mistakes, but they got those patched, and that was usually it, you know. So no, I don't think Iwata should be out as CEO, and I don't think any of you guys should take that any seriously. I don't think he will be. So we'll see. E3 is just coming right up, and we're going to get a lot more information on what Nintendo is going to be doing and the new partnerships they're going to forge with Western studios. So we should know. And another thing is that people need to realize that Iwata also having forged a relationship with them to get like Donkey Kong Country with Retro Studios. That's next level games with Luigi's Mansion. That's also Iwata's call too. So people need to calm down and they need to look at the facts. They need to look at the sales of Nintendo's games and who are developing those games, and know that Iwata had a hand in a lot of those. All right, I want to know what you guys think. Put them in the comments below. Should Iwata be out as CEO? Should he not be? How is the job you guys think he's doing? Of course, there's always room to improve, but I think he's doing a very good job, and there's no guarantee that the next guy would come in there and do better, especially since Iwata has gained a lot of traction as with Japanese developers. All right, once again, I'm Francis. Make sure to check out the website playeressence.com, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.